When the waves are this good, the world's best surfers do some crazy things. And I don't know, Pete, which was your favourite claim in the mix, or which was the worst claim in the mix?
I think, excuse me, Felipe's counting of his maneuvers, I think that one's kind of cute. But then his flyaway gainer, whatever that was, it was just more of a belly flop. But, I mean, how good is that clip?
Coming your way, Coffin, Michel Bourez and Matt Wilkinson, but
Look
in
at
the
this
early
set.
stages, getting caught out by what has to be the biggest set.
Oh, and watch this 10-point ride coming up. What the heck? Look at this. Gliding across the top. Call it, Ronnie. That is mental.
That is sketchy.
Look at the guy in front. He's just gleaming. The guy in back is holding on for dear life. That was crazy.
I was saying it all. Look at this highline trim.
Can you believe they held that one together? And look at Damien, no problem. I got this.
Should have had these guys in the twin fin, because they kind of are on a twinny.
High line, Corona high line. That was awesome. Like, it's just non-stop here. Well, can we see anything more exciting?
It has been.
Look at the back. The back just getting clipped, and he turns down. Nice fade. Seriously, that's a 10-point ride.
Because we've seen him put together some good performances in contests before, but I don't think we've ever seen him looking this good. He looks like an event winner in this contest at the moment. Driving up into that first section. Hammering down the line, a bit of wind on the face at the moment. It just seems it's increased somewhat. And as a result, really difficult to surf this wave. And Connor's out of there.
Those maneuvers, I mean, he came out here this morning feeling it, and it was just one of those things where you watch him surf these waves, and he just, boom, are you kidding me? And then just coming down the line, you saw him winding up, loading up, getting ready for something even bigger. Bingo! And almost over-rotates through. I think he was going for more of a rotation, and then decides, you know what, I'm just going to finish this thing off nice and clean. The guy was on a tear.
Your eyes set on in this event?
Yeah, definitely, you know. I caught like 2 waves after that. Actually, one before it was a 9, and it was like a big full rotation, and I fell in the next 2 turns, I think, and that could have been a 10 as well, you know. But yeah, and then after the 10, the 2 alley-oops, I got another wave, just like try to do some big turns, and you know, like trying to make sure I still got the rail game and ready for the quarterfinals.
Thank you for the entertainment. We'll let you get ready for the rest of the event. Back to you, Ronnie.
Amazing stuff. He's so relaxed, so humble. He's chilling, ready to throw down a perfect heat in the quarters maybe. But here we go, Coffin with priority. We've been loving the aggression from Connor on the rail throughout this contest so far, coming off the back of an amazing performance in round 3, a couple of 9-point rides. And have a look at that turn. Just classic as he brings it through to the inside. So much speed to take into this final move. And he digs in, a bit of bump on the face, actually gets a bit more room. And throws that tail free for a moment. So a good ride there for Connor, and right behind, Michel Bourez. Got through a very difficult draw in Italo Ferreira in the last round to earn his place here at the top of the bay here with priority. Loading up, goes breezing down the line. Sends those fins free for a moment, which he loves to do. Seemed like he really tapped into the form that took him to the semi-finals in 2014, and he finds the tube. Beautiful barrel ride here for Wilco.
Nice. Connor just dug in. Let's take a look at Matt Wilkinson's wave here. Again, beautiful outside maneuver here. Carries a ton of speed and attacks it. Drifts his fins, comes down. You can see the crease and the double up underneath. He's going to have a read here and go, okay, let's sit back. Set it up right here, plugs it, nice stall to get into it, and that's really hard to do with all that speed to be able to slow it down so quickly. And he gets completely barreled. So a nice complete ride there from Matt Wilkinson. That's going to be his best wave in the heat. Take again, look at this. He's coming down the line, just kick stalls it. Sticks his butt in the right wave to slow down slightly. Great technique. one of the best tube riding you can do on your backhand is when you can grab that rail. It just stabilizes everything. You have speed control there. But then Connor, this was one of the first waves of the set. Again, you can't really tell how many bumps are on the face there looking at this angle, but it is pretty darn bumpy, and he did well to keep that speed through the rail cars. Again, so stable. Beautiful work, just gliding, making it look so easy. This is classic jbay surfing. You know, even down here when it gets really bumpy, he's able to get the right speed to be able to complete these moves. Going to be a great score here. I mean, look at there. It's just a lot of bump, and he's setting it up. But to be able to carve through that and keep control, so difficult. But he holds on well.
Just his second year on the championship tour, Connor. But in my opinion, Pete, I think he reads this wave better than Michel and Matt Wilkinson. I think he just, that time spent here free surfing has really paid off.
Yeah, and I mean, if you even look at, you know, where he surfs at home, I mean, Rincon has a lot of reminiscence of this, you know. That south wind, Rincon would be like this, where that wind is blowing up the face, so you have experience there. But, you know, you're right. I think he just has a really good read, and his style fits this wave so well. Michel Bourez, you know, mid-range score here in the lower end. You know, just unfortunate that he wasn't able to get a bit deeper on that barrel. And then I believe he falls at the end here, too. If I recall right here, a lot of action that I got, kicks out. But
Matt Wilkinson in a moment. Wilco just getting the edge on Connor with that last exchange. We'll get you to break that down in a moment, Pete. But right now we've got more set waves rolling through. A lot of consistency in the lineup at the moment. Michel Bourez enjoying that section. Nice big float. Did get a little stuck behind for a moment. But now catches back up to that beautiful big open face. A speed projection float to get down the line and into this bowling section, and Michel lays it down. Dual heat format, even with 3 men in the line. You could have 6 guys out there and there'd still be enough waves for everyone. But here we go, Connor Coffin. A 6.17 on his last ride. In second place. At this stage, chasing a 4.34. Beautiful arc there. Maintaining a lot of speed in his approach at the moment. Let's see if he can clout this end section. There's a nice big hook off the top, mixing things up. Driving through another huge slice there before kicking out. Wilco's up too. There's that critical approach that we were talking about. And now gets some speed to smack this wave down the line. A beautiful vertical hit there. Exiting down to the bottom of the bowl, trying to set up his next maneuver. So some varied approaches on these backhand hits. And a solid finish, and he makes sure he rides on out of the foam there. So Matt Wilkinson.
And Wilco was a little more paced. Let's take a look at Michel's first of the set. You know, not as big a wave, but again, a little cleaner on the face, being that it's the first wave. Again, that floater, he carries so much speed because of that equipment, allows him to just hop off the lip so easily. Again, these waves with the angle of the swell, a lot faster down the line. I mean, especially on that outside section where it's right in front. He loved it. Probably be one of his best waves. And then Connor from way up top. Again, this wave just never let up. It was down the line the entire way. Beautiful high line surfing. Again, he had to keep his speed up through this wave. I mean, anytime it slowed up just enough, he really was able to be there to get that maneuver done. So nice. I mean, there, again, a mix, throwing the layback carve. You know, very reminiscent of a guy with the style, you know, Brad Gerlach. You kind of see reminiscence of him. You know, he trained with Connor over the years, but now working with Glenn Micro Hall. But beautiful arcs. I mean, look at this style that he has. Again, you see that from a Federico Moraes where you get those arms opened up and it just stabilizes the turn.
I see that influence, but more so I see 2 of Connor's favourite surfers in his approach, and that's Tom Curran and Dane Reynolds. has that really raw hack that he can go to, but
at high speeds, I mean, I think that's what it is too. And you see Wilco, a little slower paced wave, but look at these hooks he has. Again, he's got that raw approach. You know, you're talking about almost getting clipped, there what it is, but right into a nice vertical round arc. Again, very reminiscent of a good friend of his, Owen Wright, but he has that looseness to his surfing. So fun to watch, especially off the bottom where he has that arm placement, stabilizes the bottom turn, and then gets loose off the top and throws those fins around.
just over 13 minutes to go. And back to live action out of these replays. Michel Bourez with a nice looking wall. And he's just setting up this wave at the moment, but still collecting some points, looking for some major turn options. Bit of a double up in this ride. What's this wave going to do? We know Michel's a great barrel rider. And he is actually going to have to punch through the back of this one. That wave shutting down.
Stretched out. He had to get down there. And it shuts down on him, unfortunately. So you watch the replay here again. This was down the point. And I'd like to reiterate that the angle on the swell makes these waves so fast. I mean, he could have been in the barrel there, but look, it shuts down way out in front of him. Connor is needing a pretty big score with the 8.21. But he's capable, and he's up and riding right now.
This might be the smooth wall that he's looking for. Aggressive on that first turn. Sends the tail out the back on the second move. And then works another arc into the mix. Driving down the line. This is where the major points are on offer. Nice cut down carve. And recovered well to get his board up above the lip once again. Wants a finish here on this foamy section. So difficult to surf. And he did reasonably well with it.
Oh, man. I mean, you think about what he's ridden today already. The leg burning that he's already had, finish. And you would have to say that it's going to be some leg burners. And watch this wave here. I mean, this is a little better pace. So great wave choice here because he's able to dig into his maneuvers a little bit more and finish them. A little variety now where he got the, making adjustments because he would have heard those scores going, okay, so you want to see a little bit more looseness out of my surfing. And he's adjusting, which is love to see. But those are the type of turns that, jbay wall deserves. Big, arcing, cutting into the walls. And at this point, his legs are just burning, and he keeps it together for the finish, which is so important. We've seen the judges wanting to see us do it, but look at this turn here. I mean, the slow-mo just really shows how great technique. Again, able to finish that maneuver where he puts the nose back the other direction. And this wave allowed him to do that, so a better wave choice for himself. And then this, when it's nice and steep, just holds it all the way through. Again, the arm placement, so good. Drifting that time. So again, variety, which the forehand, you're able to bring that a lot more. And I think that may have hindered him slightly in those earlier sixes, wanting to bring a little more variety. But I love that Connor can see that happening and then make those adjustments.
Who are going to have to surf through round 5, referring to John Florence and Geordie Smith.
Well, we're guaranteed to lose somebody in Owen or John as a title contender because they're up against each other in this next round.
Here we go. Michel Bourez up at the moment. This wave, he needs it to clean up. He wants to get back to that green water. So hard to set a big rail turn when you got that foam on the face. Michel doing well at the moment. This wave has a slower pace through the inside than his 7-point ride. He likes the feel of it. We're going to look at the start of that ride in a moment, but Matt Wilkinson just behind him, chasing down a 6.71. Starting to find that backhand rhythm, which scores so well with the judges. He punches through the back of that one.
He's done it. The outside of that wave was awesome. He was able to let that wave go. Yeah, but there's another set out the back as we take a look at the outside section here of Matt Wilkinson. But look how clean this wall is. Great wave choice. He does a nice carve right in front of Connor Coffin, and then that nice whipping bottom turn where he loads it up, goes straight up vertical. So, I mean, you look at this wave, very complete, all the way from the top to bottom. Again, this section here, attacking, free falling. So again, the judges want to see you have those critical moves on the outside and then back it up with critical moves on the inside. That wave, very complete. Would say that this is rivaling his 8-point ride as well. Michel Bourez having to take the first wave of the set, so it's a little bit smaller, but it did have good pace here. Again, digging in. That's what we like from Michel Bourez, is when he really loads up and digs that rail in. You know, here, difficult to ride with all this foam on the face.
Back to live action now, Connor Coffin. We're waiting on numbers come through for Matt Wilkinson and Michel Bourez. He could be chasing a score to get himself back into the lead here, so he needs to really dig in on this ride. Only 3.5 minutes to go. It might be his last shot at the score. He's way down the line. The wave's doubling up. He's hanging in the pocket, waiting for it to tube. It's not really working with him at the moment. And here we go. Now he gets that line, but this wave reeling off.
Watch his title contenders as some have fallen and some have stayed in the draw, and he has just kept himself right in it.
He's only 250 points clear of second spot, John Florence, at the moment.
It's just one. It's one result.
It's a heat win.
Yeah, it is. It's a heat win, or even a first or second in the final. So it is very close.